Yeah, well, like I said, where's he from? Is it Aberdeen or something? Like
he's a proper Scot, yeah.
Yeah, like
so he's
obviously he don't
Paul
fuck
motherfucking Kent. Seriously.
First time I met Paul Kent, we nearly had a fucking dust up.
Yeah,
he's told me our story, but
yeah. No, but it was mad, like, because what had happened was they put the fucking Call of Duty casters in iSeries in a room with the press. So we're doing interviews.
Oh, is this when you fell out?
Yeah, no.
Was this the one where you went rogue on all of the iSeries?
Yeah, well, no. So what happened there was, yeah, well, that's where they had the fucking security escort me out because I tweeted something about their sponsors. Because so Paul Kent was commentating this Call of Duty fucking tournament, right? I was running that, and it was like they weren't there for an iSeries running a tournament. It was a partnership where they were hosting an event at an iSeries. So iSeries wanted to put them somewhere quiet with like access, good soundproofing. So they chose the press room. Dumbest fucking decision ever. Like, because we got to do interviews. So what was happening was we were recording interviews on camera with microphones, asking them questions, and the audio from us, because the room weren't big, the audio from us was going out on the stream. So fucking we were doing it. Paul Kent come up to me, right, and like again, he's a dour Scot, right? I love the guy now. Like we're all pals now, all mates now. But he asks, you know, he's got the attitude of a dour Scot. So he hasn't come up and said, listen, we're doing a stream, you know, and I know we're all in this room and it's an awkward situation. Is there anywhere else you can do the interview maybe? Because you're going out live on our feed, you know, something like that. He's going, will you fucking keep it doing, you cunts? Like this, I would fucking like squared in like straight up to me. And I'm like, excuse me, who the fuck are you? You fucking daft bastard. Because he's expecting like some esports journalist to just sort of fucking, you know, wilt a little bit, right? And I've gone, who the fuck are you talking to? Like, who the fuck are you? Do you run this place, man? I don't fucking think you do. Fuck off back to your casting desk and get the fuck out my face before I hurt you. So he's gone back and he's fuming about it, like, so he's stewing. So then the fucking, the Fletchers come up themselves because they know me. And they're going, listen, Richard, like, you can't have an argument with him. I'm like, have you heard how he said he's threatening me. He's threatening me, telling me if I don't fucking quiet and stop doing the interviews that I'm doing to promote your fucking event, by the way, he's going to fucking kick off. And I'm like, why are the casters in the press room? You understand we need quiet. We need to type. We need to do interviews, right? And he's going, look, we've all just got to make this work somehow. So anyway, he brings Paul Kent over. And we're like, listen, was a bit aggro there. Sorry, I'm stressed. I'm doing a thing. And I'm like, okay, mate, fair dues. You held your corner. Shake hands. It's all good. But anyway, it's not all good, is it? Wrong. The Fletchers walk off. And then even though me and Paul Kent have a temporary truce, one of his mates is turned up late, and he's come because he's been told through like Chinese whispers or whatever that fucking, you know, Paul Kent nearly got in a fight with some journalist. So now this guy, who was fucking huge, by the way, he's like some muscle, like full Jews head, is up there, and he's squaring up to me going, are you the fucker who shouted at Paul Kent? And I'm going, yeah, what about it? In the back of my head thinking this is a fucking dumb one, but you never back down, right? You know what I mean? So this guy's fucking squaring up to me. He's being held back. My boy Mick's there. He's saying, Rich, probably ain't worth it. Like, I'm like, you're fucking Scottish. Can you go and talk to these fucking dickheads? And fucking wait. So the whole thing's a palaver. And then after that happened, even though I had nothing to do with that second incident starting, and it had all been, the Fletchers came and basically decided, like, to give me a warning. And they said, like, listen, Richard, like, just avoid him for the rest of the event. If you have to cancel doing interviews, don't do interviews. We can talk about it later. We've always had a good relationship with Cadred. We'll figure it out down the road. But they're our business partners for this tournament. So anyway, me and somebody else who was there, we just tweeted out about what had happened. And we said, fuck this sponsor, fuck this company. They're, threatening journalists in a press room because of a bit of noise. Like, fuck these guys. And we named them by name on Twitter. Well, the Fletchers have gone fucking acker over that. They've gone absolutely ackerboozy. They've come up the fucking stairs. They've told me, this is it now. The relationship's dead. We've been letting you get away with being a cunt for years. Like, that's what he was telling me. We've been letting you get away with being a cunt for years. You're lucky to be here. You know, they're absolutely going off. And I'm going, fucking hell, like, I'm just telling the truth. I know it's a fucking rare commodity in the world of fucking esports, right? But at the end of the day, it's the fucking truth. You delete that fucking tweet right now, we'll sue you. I'm like, fuck you. Yeah, full on, like, just aggro. And then unleash the guards. The security guards have come up. The fucking mall cops are in. They literally, there's no word of a lie now. They said, we don't want any trouble from you, Richard, but we hear that you're a bit violent. And they were trying to put them, what are them things? What are them things you know when they'd use the plastic throwaway cuffs, the plastic bands, the wristband. They were trying to put them on me. I'm going, you're a fucking mall cop, mate. You're not putting me under arrest, you bell end. Where's your badge? Like, you're not in a fucking movie, mate. Like, calm down. Like, literally, well, we're just trying to subdue you. I'm like, what do you think I'm going to do? So they took me out. The Fletchers had me fucking searched, going, he might have stolen something. I'm like, yeah, that's my MO. That's my MO, mate. So they searched my bag. They were patting me down. I had to call Mark Reed, who was my manager at the time at Evan Media. I had to call Mark and I said, listen, Mark, bit of a strange one here, right? I've been thrown out of iSeries and permanently barred. And I've just got done from having a frisking off security. And Mark just did the classic, like the Richard Lewis sigh in the office of Evan Media. He knows he's jammed up with phone calls for the next week trying to fix all this stuff. So he's going, Rich, what have I told you? Why can't you just play the game? I'm like, this definitely ain't on me this time, mate. 100% not on me. Like, I got some mad Scotch fucker threatening to beat me up. He's calling his crew in. He's threatening to beat me up. I got security guards reaming out my arsehole like it's day one in prison. Like, I got a fucking, you know what I mean? Like, I'm having a bad day, mate. I need you to fucking back me to the hilt, motherfucker. Like, so anyway, like down the road, we ended up with like the Fletchers were incandescent. They told me there was no way I'd ever be like unbarred and all this bullshit. But we all squared it up in the end. I was invited back to the next iSeries, and that was that. And the funny thing was, like Paul Kent, who was like the guy who sparked it all off, and I was like, fucking, if I ever see this, like I'm giving him a piece of my mind, and that's it. And if he's lucky, he just gets a piece of my mind. But then the funny thing was, when they started running Gfinity and they moved into CS, I got this fucking call saying, do you want to come work this Gfinity event? And I fucking got down there, and I hadn't put two and two together because I knew there was some Scotch called Paul working there. And he comes in, like, and I'm looking at him, and like he's looking at me, and he's like, yeah, I'm in Gfinity now, and I feel a wee bit daft about it. I'm like, you fucking bastard, you bastard. But we all had a laugh about it, and we went drinking.
Like Copper Box, when you rolled into Copper Box,
yeah,
the very first event?
Yeah, that was the Copper Box one. That was the Copper Box one, yeah. Yeah.
I let you off once before, but you've still got the nerve to come back here and make trouble again. Eh?
F8, children. What does it all mean?